Shut down this afternoon as hundreds of angry Muslim protesters stormed the city, joining global outrage over an anti-Islamic film.
Riot police were forced to use capsicum spray as the crowd hurled bottles and makeshift weapons at officers. 10's Gabrielle Boyle joins us now live from the city. Gabby, how did all this start?
Well, look, Matt, this was supposed to be a peaceful protest, but as you can tell from the sirens behind me, it has turned out to be anything but. Just in the last couple of minutes, we have in fact run down here to follow these crowds of rioters. They've broken out into several groups. As you can see, it's very agitated, the situation here. Our cameraman just a couple of minutes ago captured some pictures of the rioters. They're very agitated. In fact, he was injured. It's a very stressful situation, as you can understand here. I'm going to throw to my package now so you can take a look at some of the scenes that took place here this afternoon.
Outraged and angry in Sydney's CBD. From fiery, things quickly turned violent. An officer injured, out cold, dragged from the pit of the angry mass, bloodied and dazed. His workmates try to reassure him. With no apparent plan, the 100-strong crowd of mostly men stormed through the city, police caught off guard. Projectiles hurled at police. In Pitt Street Mall, a wall of force as frightened shoppers scattered.
This was supposed to be a peaceful protest. It has turned out anything but that. We've got hundreds of police. They've shut down Market Street here in the CBD as the protesters head back towards Hyde Park, where they're again preparing to rally.
Flaring again in Hyde Park, capsicum spray used to move on the rioters. When that didn't work, police dogs were called in. Dragged away, this man, bloodied, battered, his clothes torn. The chaos continued through the afternoon.
Obama! Obama! We love Osama!
Protesters vowing this will not be the last time they take to the streets to spread their message.
Look, as you saw a few moments ago, it is a very, very tense situation here. The men that appeared on camera a moment ago, police have just stepped in the riot squad and they've taken them away. It is still a very volatile situation. Eddie Meyer, a 10 reporter, has been exploring the history of how this all amounted to today's action in Sydney.
It has become a rolling wave of anger sweeping over the Middle East and North Africa, and all of it directed at the United States. In Cairo, early morning rioters tried to get to the US Embassy, blocking them a hastily erected concrete barricade. Behind it, Egyptian police taking a stand. Despite calls for calm, this rioting is now entering its 5th day. And it's spreading. In Afghanistan, an effigy of US President Barack Obama was set alight. In the Sudanese capital, Khartoum, rioters set the German mission on fire. In Lebanon, Tunisia, Gaza, a day that began with prayer ended in violence, and the man responsible for provoking this anger remains hiding inside his California home, sending out his lawyer to deal with the attention.
So if you disperse and maybe let them get out to do what they need to do, we'd appreciate it. And when we know more about what we're going to do in this matter, we'll advise you. Thank you.
Previously convicted of bank fraud, Nakula Baseli Nakula, an Egyptian Coptic Christian, made the 14-minute YouTube trailer for a US religious group. It depicts the Prophet Muhammad as a thuggish deviant. That sparked the violence, beginning in Libya and resulting in the deaths of America's Ambassador Christopher Stevens and 3 of his colleagues. Their bodies returned to Andrews Air Force Base today. A sombre president and devastated Secretary of State led mourners. Hillary Clinton stationed Stevens in Libya.
The people of Egypt, Libya, Yemen and Tunisia did not trade the tyranny of a dictator for the tyranny of a mob.
But with anger showing no sign of abating, the US is now reviewing security at all its diplomatic missions around the world. Eddie Meyer, 10 News.
Look, things seem to have dispersed a little bit here in the CBD. As you can see, police are still on the streets. There is a very heavy police presence. My warning to you firsthand is avoid the CBD if at all possible. We know that some buses are being diverted out of the area, some roads are closed, and it is still a very tense situation in Sydney CBD and no sign of it abating anytime soon.
Gabrielle Boyle, thank you.
Well, a furious Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have launched legal action over topless photos of Kate published in a French magazine. The palace has labelled it grotesque and unjustifiable as an invasion of their privacy. 10's Chloe Baker is in the Solomon Islands, where the couple's Diamond Jubilee tour touches down tomorrow.